So, fourth class of our module 1, fourth session of module 1. Module 1 നാലാമത്തെ ക്ലാസ്. ഫസ്റ്റ് ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ജനറേറ്റർ വർക്കിംഗ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പിൾ, സെക്കൻഡ് ക്ലാസ് വേരിയസ് പാർട്സ് ഓഫ് DC മെഷീൻ, തേർഡ് ക്ലാസ് EMF equation of a DC generator, and fourth class different types of DC generators. According to the method of excitation, there are two types of DC generators. So DC generators are classified into two: separately excited generators and self-excited generators. So what is meant by this excitation? First of all, you have to understand that. Then only you can understand this topic. Excitation is nothing but the process of giving electrical supply to the field winding of a DC generator for producing the flux. Okay, that is known as excitation. If we are giving a separate DC source, normally we are giving DC supply for excitation even in the case of AC generator. You have to understand, both AC and DC can generate flux, but DC can produce strong flux. So whether it is AC generator or DC generator, we have to give DC supply for the production of flux, because DC can produce strong flux than AC. This is an important thing. This is a common point that you have to understand. Both DC and AC can produce flux, but DC can produce strong flux. Okay, this is a common point. ഈ മൊഡ്യൂളിലേക്ക് വേണ്ടി മാത്രം പറയുന്ന ഒരു പോയിന്റ്, ജനറലായിട്ട് എപ്പോഴും മനസ്സിലാക്കിക്കണം. ഫോർ excitation is the process of giving electricity for the field winding to produce the flux. Even in the case of AC generator, we have to give DC supply for producing the flux. So irrespective of the nature of the generator, that means if it is AC or DC, for excitation purpose we have to give DC. So from this discussion, I think you can understand what is meant by excitation. Excitation is nothing but the process of giving electricity to the field winding of a generator. For what? For producing the flux. This flux cuts the conductors and an EMF is induced, whether it is AC or DC. All generators are working according to the principle of Faraday's first law. So in a generator there should be two main things, then only it can work. What are the two main things that we are discussing in a generator, whether it is AC or DC? Conductor and flux. When the conductor cuts the flux and EMF is induced. So conductor should be there, flux should be there. In the case of DC generator, our first module discussion is about DC generator. DC generator, conductors means armature winding, flux means field system. So our field winding is provided in the stator and armature winding is provided in the rotor. So conductors are in our rotor and flux is in our field winding, producer flux is in our stator. Okay, so in some cases field winding can produce some flux. In some cases we have to give separate electricity for producing the flux. The process of giving electricity, that means DC supply. Okay, the process of giving DC supply for producing the flux, the process of giving DC supply to the field winding for producing the flux is known as excitation. Two types of excitation: separate excitation and self-excitation. If the field windings are capable of producing the flux of its own, it is known as self-excitation. In those cases, there is no need to give separate DC source to the field winding of the generator. Most of our DC generators are self-excited generators. Most of our DC generators are self-excited generators. So please listen. The classification of DC generators: two types of DC generators, separately excited generator and self-excited generator. Excitation is the process of giving electricity to the field winding of a DC generator. Okay. In some generators, in some cases, the field windings are capable of producing the flux of its own. Those type of machines have a residual magnetism. Self-excited machines have a residual magnetism. What is meant by residual magnetism? Residual magnetism, it is the amount of magnetism. ഇതെല്ലാം കഴിഞ്ഞ കൊല്ലം പഠിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള പോയിന്റ്സ് ആണ്. It is the amount of magnetism retained in a material after the removal of magnetizing force. The amount of magnetism retained in a material after the removal of magnetizing force. Magnetizing force means electricity. The force which produces magnetism is electricity. So the magnetizing force is electricity. With the help of electricity, only with the help of electricity we can generate flux in the case of artificial magnets. Okay, in the case of artificial magnets, without the help of electricity, we cannot generate magnetism. Okay, so in some generators, there should be an amount of magnetism. There will be an amount of magnetism retained in a material after the removal of magnetizing force. That amount of magnetism is known as residual magnetism. In those cases, field windings can produce a flux of its own. No need to give electricity to the field winding of those machines. Those machines are called self-excited generators. That means in the case of self-excited generators, the field winding of the stator have the property of residual magnetism. What about separate excitation? In the case of separate excitation, as the name implies, there should be a separate exciting source to the field winding of the DC generator. Field windings are not capable of producing the flux of its own. Field windings are not capable of producing the flux of its own. There should not be any residual magnetism in the case of separately excited generator. We have to provide separate DC source or external DC source to the field winding of these type of generators. That means separately excited generators. There is no question of residual magnetism in the case of separately excited generators. But in the case of self-excited generators, there is a residual magnetism in the field winding of the self-excited generators. Whether it is separately excited or self-excited, there are two windings in every DC generator, armature winding and field winding. Armature winding is in the rotating part of the machine and field winding is in the stationary part of the machine. Field windings can produce field winding produces the fluxes, armature winding in which EMF is generated. We studied all these things. Armature consists of cylindrical core, slots are provided on its outer periphery. After that we are providing the armature winding. All those things we studied in the last class. So two main parts, stator and rotor. Stator consists of field system, rotor consists of armature winding. Okay. If the field windings have the property of residual magnetism, then there is no need for a excitation to the field winding of that machine. In such cases, field windings can produce the flux of its own. Those type of generators are known as self-excited generators. What about separately excited generators? There is no question of residual magnetism. In the case of separately excited generators, there is no question of residual magnetism in the case of separately excited generators. Field windings of the separately excited generators are not capable of generating the flux of its own. So there should be a DC supply to the field winding of the separately excited generator. That is the main difference between separately excited generator and a self-excited generator. I think it is clear. For two types of DC generators according to the method of excitation. One is separately excited generators and other is self-excited generators. What about self-excited generators? Self-excited generators are again classified into three: shunt generator, series generator, compound generator. That means series wound, shunt wound, compound wound. Series generator, shunt generator, compound generator. Among these three, the compound generator is again classified into long shunt compound generator and short shunt compound generator. Long shunt compound generator and short shunt compound generator. For your information, I am saying one more thing. There is a sub-classification for this long shunt compound generator also, which is not shown in this figure. Okay, long shunt compound is again classified into two: cumulative compound generator and differentially compound generator. Cumulative compound generator and differentially compound generator. So this is the classification. This is the classification of DC generators. I am repeating, DC generators are broadly classified into separately excited generator and self-excited generator. As the name implies, there is a separate exciting source is necessary in the case of separately excited generators. In the case of separately excited generators, the field windings are not capable of producing the flux of its own. There should not be any residual magnetism in the case of separately excited generator, but in the case of self-excited generators, the field windings are capable of producing the flux of its own. They have the property of residual magnetism. Residual magnetism means the amount of magnetism retained in the material after the removal of magnetizing force. If you are withdrawing the electricity or magnetizing force, still some magnetism exists in that material. That is known as a residual magnetism. Clear? Okay. So that is a residual magnetism. Okay. Then these self-excited generators are again classified into three: series generator, shunt generator and compound generator. Compound generator is again classified into two: long shunt compound generator and short shunt compound generator. Long shunt compound generator and short shunt compound generator. Okay, so we can study all these generators one by one. Okay, so types of DC generators, methods of excitation. This is our classification. First, so this is our classification of DC generators. Separately excited generator we can discuss later. Before that we have to discuss self-excited generators. So self-excited generators are classified into shunt generator, series generator, compound generator. So whether it is shunt, series or compound, the field windings of all these machines have the capability of producing the flux of its own. They have the property of residual magnetism. Okay, so armature winding is there, field winding is there, whose resistance is represented as RSH. Okay, armature winding in which EMF is generated represented as EG. Current flowing from the armature is represented as IA. Okay, so at the end of the armature, two brushes are there. The darkening parts are brushes. So two brushes are there. Brushes are used to collect the current from the commutator of the DC generator. Commutator acts as the mechanical rectifier of the DC generator. Brushes are used to collect the current from the DC generator. Okay, so an EMF is induced in the armature which delivers current to the external circuit. The armature current is represented as IA. Armature winding and field winding are connected in parallel. Therefore, there is an electrical connection between field winding and armature winding. Field winding is in stator, armature winding is in rotor. Any winding, whether it is armature winding or field winding, it has two ends, starting end and a finishing end. So here in this case, the stator, field winding and rotor or armature winding are connected in parallel. They are connected in shunt, parallel. Shunt means parallel. Field winding is connected in parallel with the armature winding. Hence it is named as shunt generator. There is no electrical connection between field winding and armature winding in the separately excited generator. Why? What's the reason? Can you guess? The reason is a separate excitation should be given to the field winding. Then no need to connect the armature winding and field winding. We have to connect the field winding to the external source. Then only that can properly work. So there is no electrical connection between the field winding and armature winding of a separately excited generator. Now we are discussing about self-excited generators. There should be an electrical connection between the armature winding and field winding. If it is parallel connection, it is known as shunt generator. If both windings are connected in series, it is known as series generator. Then what about compound generator? The compound generator, you have to understand that there should be two windings. One is known as shunt field winding and other is known as series field winding. Series field winding is connected in series with the armature and shunt field winding is connected in parallel with the armature. Then only we can call it as a compound generator, which we will discuss in the later classes. So this is the basic picture of self-excited generators. I am repeating, self-excited generators are classified into three: shunt generator, series generator and compound generator. In the case of shunt generator, armature winding and field winding are connected in parallel and that combination is connected across the load because generator delivers electrical power to the load. Load means it may be water load, lamp load or any other loads in our home, any other water load, lamp load or any other loads which we are using in our house. Okay, that is a load. Electrical load is there. Lamp, fan, mixie, motor, all those are loads. What is meant by load? Load consumes energy. Load consumes energy. All the electrical appliances in our house are loads. All the electrical appliances, mixie, motor, fan, incandescent lamp, fluorescent lamp, all those are loads. So armature winding and field winding are connected in parallel and that combination is connected across the load. So now we are discussing about shunt generator. In the case of shunt generator, armature and field are connected in parallel. In the case of series generator, armature and field are in series. What about compound generator? There should be two field windings. So in the case of compound generator, totally there are three windings in a compound generator. There are two windings in shunt generator. There are two windings in series generator. There are two windings in separately excited generator also. But in the case of compound generator, there should be two windings, because one winding should be connected in series with the armature, another winding should be connected in parallel with the armature. So two windings should be there in the case, two field windings should be there in the case of compound generator. Therefore, in a compound generator, there are three windings, one armature winding which is provided in the rotor, series field winding and shunt field winding are in the stator. This is in the case of compound generator. Only two windings are in the case of shunt generator and series generator. Shunt generator, shunt field winding is in stator, series and armature winding is in rotor. In the case of series generator also, series field winding is in stator, armature winding is in rotor. So what is the difference between shunt field winding and series field winding? Shunt field winding consists of large number of turns of fine wire, whereas series field winding consists of thick wire, few turns. Shunt field winding consists of large number of turns of fine wire, whereas series field winding consists of thick wire, few turns. That means thick wire means few turns, means series field winding have lower resistance, whereas shunt field winding has high resistance. Shunt field winding is electrically more strong than that of series field winding. So shunt field winding can produce flux. Electrically, the stronger winding is shunt field winding, because its resistance is more. It consists of large number of turns of fine wire. It can produce more flux. It can produce more flux than that of field winding. We are discussing about a shunt generator. There is no question of series field winding. Anyway, there should be a comparison between shunt field winding and series field winding. Shunt field winding consists of large number of turns of fine wire. Today I am giving an introduction of these three generators first. In the next class, we will discuss these generators in depth. So, separately excited generator, self-excited generator. Separately excited generator, there should not be any connection between, there should not be any electrical connection between armature winding and field winding. In the case of self-excited generators, there should be a connection between the armature winding and field winding. If it is a parallel connection, that generator is known as shunt generator. If it is a series connection, it is known as series generator. If there are two field windings in a series generator, if there are two field windings in a compound generator, one is known as series field winding and the other is known as shunt field winding. Shunt field winding is connected in parallel with the armature, series field winding is connected in series with the armature. So totally there are three windings in a compound generator. Whether it is shunt, series or compound, all the field windings are capable of producing the flux of its own. They have the property of residual magnetism. The difference between shunt field winding and series field winding is shunt field winding consists of large number of turns of fine wire which has high resistance than that of series field winding. How can we physically identify a series field winding and shunt field winding? By simply looking at those two windings, you can easily understand which is shunt field winding and which is series field winding. If the diameter is more, vannam koodudalulla winding aanu series field winding. Vannam കുറവുള്ള വയറാണ് ഫൈൻ വയറാണ്, കനം കുറഞ്ഞ വയറാണ്, കനം കുറഞ്ഞ വയറാണ് ഷണ്ട് ഫീൽഡ് വൈൻഡിങ്. ഷണ്ട് ഫീൽഡ് വൈൻഡിങ് കൺസിസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ലാർജ് നമ്പർ ഓഫ് ടേൺസ് ഓഫ് ഫൈൻ വയർ. സീരീസ് ഫീൽഡ് വൈൻഡിങ് കൺസിസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് തിക്ക് വയർ, few turns. Okay, so electrically the stronger winding is shunt field winding, which can produce more flux. Okay, so shunt generator, series generator, common. This is the introductory class of different types of DC generators. In the next class we have to study all these generators thoroughly. What about the armature equations, what are the EMF equations, current equations, armature current equations of these generators. Okay, I think it is clear. So residual magnetism you have to understand first. Residual magnetism means it is the amount of magnetism retained in a material after the removal of magnetizing force. In the case of shunt generator, armature and field are in parallel. In the case of series generator, so please look at the figure, armature and field are in series. Armature and field are in series. Look at the compound generator, two types of compound generator, long shunt compound and short shunt compound. In the case of long shunt compound generator, two field windings are there. Series field winding is connected in series with armature. That whole combination is connected across the shunt field winding. That whole combination is connected across the shunt field winding, which is nothing but a long shunt compound generator. What about short shunt compound generator? In this, first of all, armature is shorted with a shunt field winding. That combination is connected in series with the field winding. So look at the difference between long shunt compound and short shunt compound. Long shunt compound means armature is connected in series with the series field winding first. After that, the whole combination is connected in parallel with the shunt field winding. After that, the whole winding is connected in parallel with the shunt field winding. Whereas in the case of short shunt compound generator, armature is in parallel with the shunt field winding. Armature is in parallel with the shunt field winding. That means shunt field is shorted with armature. Shunt shorted with armature. Therefore, this is termed as short shunt compound generator. That combination is connected in series with the series field winding. So we can discuss all the other things, detailed things in the next class. I think this is clear.